We will now go ahead and continue our post-race media availabilities with the winner of the Ticket Guardian 500, Kyle Busch, driver of the number 18 Skittles Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. Congratulations, Kyle.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We'll go ahead and open it up for questions. Please raise your hand and we will get a mic over to you as soon as possible.
How could there be anything left to talk about?
We'll start here with Jeff.
After the race, a lot of the drivers were talking about how difficult it was to pass, but it seemed like you were the one car out there that could pass and put your car at different places. Did you feel like it was difficult to pass? And if so, how did you get around people?
Yeah, it was certainly tough to pass. Yes. It wasn't easy. You were really stuck and mired behind guys. I got close to Blaney and then I got real tight and then he kind of got away and then I ran him back down, and it's just kind of like an accordion thing. You cool your stuff off, you go back after him, and then you get too hot and too tight when you're behind him, and then you got to cool back off again. And then you got to wait for traffic. Once Blaney got the traffic, he had the same problems I had because now he's behind other cars that are in front of him. And then that's when you kind of get to see whose cars are better than other cars and not just the guy who's out front, is when you can maneuver and get through traffic and stuff like that. So I just started working the racetrack and just started moving around and trying to find something and trying to get low and high and everywhere in between to try to just keep trying to find clean air or cleaner air in order to get by him.
So like maybe if it's a different situation where it's not a long region at the end and he's out front,
yeah,
like you might not be able to get it.
That's right. Yep. If it's a 10-lap run, it's his. If it's 20 lap, 30 lap, 40 lap, 50 lap, it's probably his race. But because it was a long enough run, right, that we got to some string of lap, like even some of those stragglers that were a lap car here and then a lap car there and then a lap car there, like he could get through them fast enough that I couldn't do anything with him. But once it got to that train of about 5 of them that Brad was in, and I don't even remember who else was in, I think Hemrick was in, that's when it became tough.
Are there any other questions? We'll go to Pat, John, and then Reed.
Pat DeCola, NASCAR.com. What's going to feel better, actually getting 200 or never having to answer that question again?
Yes. I don't know. It's just we've been talking about it for a long, long time, and certainly. I don't know what else to say that I've not already said. It's just a goal that I set out long time ago. I think it was actually, I don't remember who asked me. It might even have been Carrie Tharp, but just having the opportunities that I have, we just go out there and try to win each and every time we're in a race car. That's what my job is, and we just keep winning, and the stats will keep piling up.
Go to John.
John Heverland, New Mexico Motorsports Report. So at the start of the race, Ryan Blaney spun the tires. Throughout the day, several guys blew tires. Kevin Harvick and Joey Logano kind of indicated that the tires maybe weren't the greatest. As someone that's been critical of Goodyear, I just wanted to get your thoughts on what the tire was like today.
Yeah, they were too hard, I think. For as fast as we were going here, they produced well for us, but I would say running on the Xfinity car, because I had the Xfinity race to run, they were way too hard for the Xfinity cars. So that just kind of shows you that they were probably somewhat too hard for the Cup cars. But softer tires just means faster lap times and even harder to pass yet. So, it was a challenge, but everybody's on the same 4 rubber blocks anyway. So you got to do the best with what you got.
We'll go to Reed and then back to Wolfgang.
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire. How much fuel did you have to save, and was that a bit easier because you were running behind Blaney? Well,
when we came off pit road and I was told, we'll be fine on fuel to the end, I didn't really have any fuel worries. I didn't have any thoughts that we were going to be short. So I ran as hard as I could to try to catch Blaney, to try to push him, to try to make sure that that I could wear him down. And once we got to traffic, I felt like that goal was accomplished. And then we were able to, once I cleared him, I was able to kind of save from there on out, but that was only 12 to go or something like that. So you're not going to save but less than a shot glass in 12 laps of just rolling out of the gas a little early. And that was about it. So it seemed as though we had plenty. We got to do a burnout and everything else, so we're good.
Wolfgang?
Buy a Toyota. They got great fuel mileage.
Wolfgang Munzer from Germany, Rennsport Press Agency. With so many wins in the NASCAR business, are you maybe also looking for a new challenge like your brother did a couple of years ago and did the Indy 500? Is this maybe an option for you in the future?
I mean, if I could ever get a chance to go do it, I would certainly welcome it and try to. You know, people ask me, you know, all the naysayers would say, well, he can't win on Sunday. I've won 52 times on Sunday. You know, but there's nobody else that's if there's one form of motorsports that's any higher worldwide than us, it's Formula One, and ain't nobody calling me to put me in a Formula One car. So I guess I'm stuck with where I'm at. So, love it or hate it, you got what you got with me being here. So, you know, Indy 500, Formula One cars, off-road trucks, things like that. I'd love to give my fair share in any of those.
Maybe when you get win 200, maybe a Formula One team will call you.
When I win 200 NASCAR races, maybe I'll get a call. Yeah. Well, you probably are going to go overseas, so knock on some doors for me, will you?
I promise, yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you. My phone number is 800-555-5555. It'll ring right to me.
We'll go all the way to the back.
Hi, I'm Mary with Late Model Digest, and this is a very light mood question. Did you have to build a house for all your trophies?
Well, you're not the first person that's asked me that question, but it is a funny question. It's yes, I did have to build a house. It's a 77,000 square foot building in Mooresville, North Carolina, that houses Kyle Busch Motorsports and houses 199, well, plus all of the KBM drivers trophies and stuff like that. So we've gotten our fair share of trophy cases that we've gone through, and every time we build a new one, we fill it up. So it's a good problem to have, and it's been fun. There's actually a few trophies in a few people's offices and things like that. A couple of them sitting on the floor, you know, so they're all over the place.
Are there any last questions for Kyle? Jim?
Jim out of motorsport.com. Were you surprised at all at how much varied tired strategy played a role in today's race? And do you see, there seems to have been a little bit more of that in the last couple of races. Do you see more of that playing out this season?
Yeah, I think that yes. The reason why there's more tire strategy and things like that happening is because guys are just trying to jump the line and get farther up towards the front and then hold them off with just blocking their air, you know. So because it's harder to pass, the tires don't mean as much, even though we put on 4 about every time and we were able to pass up through there. It took us a little while, but you know, it's every week. You know, when the fastest car finally gets out front, it's hard to beat the fastest car unless they mess up, or unless you can get enough adjustments into your car that make you better and faster than the guy that's out front, and you can put on a race. But like today, I felt like the 12 was actually the best car this weekend. He was certainly fast. He sat on the pole. He was really quick, short run speed. But Adam and I, we worked on our race car all practice long to try to make sure that we had longevity and that we can do things to make sure that we were better in the long haul, and that paid off for us today.
All right. Thanks, Kyle. Congratulations.
Got it. Thank you.